Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us post happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where
Winchell down on the field, snapping some flicks here as we begin quarter number 2, a 0-0 ball game. A lot of flags here in the first quarter. Javion Chandler getting a large dose of the work here for Indian River in quarter number 1. He'll start things off here in the second quarter. Take that one for a nice chunk of 4 on first down. Indian River driving now into Viking territory as we welcome in my partner, Pat Guerin, has been working hard here today, and Pat's going to be a good one to get started. And here we go, 2nd and 5 for Indian River. Clock again just starting to tick here in quarter number 2. As they'll turn and hand off to Chandler. Nowhere running this time. A group of Vikings going to wrap him up in the backfield. First contact came from Daniel Conkle, the junior defensive lineman. So some other matchups here today. Again, down south, Benny Mitchell and the crew have Laurel and Caesar Rodney. We had them here earlier this week on Delaware Live Weekly. Wednesday night down in Dover. Phenomenal guest there. That's a great matchup underway as we speak, but this is a good one. 2 top 5 teams here in Class 1A. After the loss on 2nd down, 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 10 here for Indian River. Grice going to look to throw, rolling out of the pocket on the run, has his intended target. Ball falls off of his chest to the floor incomplete. Looking for Kyrie Knight, his slot receiver on 3rd down. That one falls incomplete, and now that's going to bring up 4th and long for the Indians of Indian River. Again, looking for our first score here tonight. Back and forth they went, changing possessions in quarter number 1. So offense going to stay out on the field here for Indian River on 4th and 10. Grice hands back up the other direction and having room, and he could have first down yardage and more. And that's number 3, the wide receiver, Darnell Stokes, who lines up in the backfield and has the counter back the other direction. And that's going to be good enough for a new set of downs, and into the red zone going Indian River with a 4th and 10 conversion, again courtesy of Darnell Stokes. So new set of downs for IR here. It's like they're sitting just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. Motion for Knight, they'll fake it to him. Come back to Javion Chandler, who's going to try to bounce to the outside, breaks a tackle. But here come the rest of the Vikings. Good contact made first up there by Terrence Williams, and his teammates coming to make the play behind him. Will limit it to a gain of about 1, if anything, for Javion Chandler on first down. And now we'll go about 2nd and 10 here for Indian River. 5 and 6 last year for Indian River and under head coach Philip Townsend. Their last 2 playoff losses have come to here St. Elizabeth's, who has been the runner-up the last 2 years, and then, of course, the Laurel Bulldogs 2 years ago, the state champs in back-to-back seasons. So it's taken some heavy hitters to take out Indian River come playoff time, and this year they've got their minds on a championship. Grice going to look to the middle of the end zone, overthrows his intended target. I believe that was the big tight end Bryce Johnson. Or excuse me, that was Rashad Hopkins down the seam. That one falls incomplete, and now 3rd and long. And one more time here on this drive for Indian River. They converted on 4th and 10 on their last set of downs. Captains tonight for Indian River: Colin King, Bryce Johnson, Austin Grice, Axel Alquin Hernandez, Javion Chandler, and of course Dylan Grice. St. Elizabeth 0-1 this year. A tough loss to Archmere last week, 42-8, back under head coach Mike Lemon. Lost some big seniors from last year's championship runner-up squad. But a lot of talent here still left on the roster. They'll pitch this one out to Javion Chandler. He's got some room, has a crease. He'll stay inbounds, and into the end zone goes Javion Chandler. And Indian River strikes first, and now some laundry onto the field here. Maybe an excessive celebration. And it looks like he had a spike over there in the back right side of the end zone. But Indian River going to get on the board here first. 6-0, 9:29. Quarter number 2 here at Abessinio Stadium, and Indian River making the long trip down here on a Friday. And Javion Chandler. A nice evening here at Abessinio Stadium. So this was one we had talked about before the season and had circled up. This would be a big-time matchup here in Class 1.
All right, Nick.
I'm
back, baby. I'm
Pat
back,
Carianis,
baby.
the 2-time fantasy baseball champion, as well as numerous other fantasy accolades. We welcome in here Pat Carianis.
That's it, man.
Pat getting everything done. It was a eventful as the kick is up and through for the captain, Hernandez. And 7-0 Indian River. They strike first here, Pat, but welcome in. It's been a busy pregame for all of us here at Abessinio. But we are up, we are running, we're feeling good. Mike Lang's feeling good as he walks in here out on the camera. It's a beautiful night for football, and now we're going to be got 3 quarters to go here.
That is, yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful night for football. This weekend, first weekend of the year, I felt the crisp in the air.
Gotta love it.
And I loved it. I woke up today, it was 58 degrees during my morning commute to work, and that's football weather, folks.
It was.
And here we are back at Abessinio Stadium. A nice little 3A match, or 1A matchup here between Indian River and St. E's. St. E's, you know, you alluded to it, they lost a lot. They lost a lot of talent from the back-to-back state championship appearances, including Kasim Benson, who was Mr. Everything for them for a few years, scoring a touchdown, first touch over there at Lycoming.
Lycoming.
It's impressive.
Lycoming, a great program.
Eric O'Neill, and other guys.
So say big country,
talent.
right? Schiavone, the big tight end from last year, and you mentioned Benson. A lot of losses for a team that Pat knows, you know, just about as well as anyone here at St. Elizabeth. So Mike Lemon, again, back as head coach, of course, this year, and going to have some work to do, right, to get some of these young guys now up and into this starting lineup and getting them to produce.
It is. It's a young team, but, you know, they've got themselves, I think, what could be a future star in Cole Andrews, the quarterback, the freshman that you see out there on the field. And he's got a star-studded cast, including Brian Body Calhoun, former NFL standout for the Browns, Jaguars.
Absolutely.
He's a defensive coordinator here. That kick goes out of bounds. And then, you know, for Indian River, they've consistently, since this formulation into the 3-class system, they've been right in the mix, semifinal type team. So, and yet again, having another opportunity to make a deep playoff run. So they've done a good job down there as well. And, you know, this has been a competitive matchup the last 2 years, and it hasn't changed. We got a 7-0 ball game here in the second quarter.
And you talked about it, Pat. St. E's a part of this championship game in Class 1A the last 2 years alongside the back-to-back champion Laurel Bulldogs. Laurel, of course, out of this class. They move up to Class 2A. St. E's remains here in Class 1A, but as Pat mentioned, a lot of losses with some upperclassmen for that squad, so maybe some new blood this year. A lot of talk Tatnall, one of the teams to keep an eye out for here, maybe to make a run in Class 1A. And, of course, a lot of people down south think this is Indian River's year as well here in Class 1A. It's going to be a fun year in this class.
That it is, and here we go. We got a full backfield here, wishbone style.
Andrews under center, will turn. Here's Jihad Brown. A nice move, able to bounce it out, but better defense from Indian River to gang tackle, pick up only a yard for Brown, and some laundry on the field as well.
Let's see what the penalty is here.
In the area you would think of holding, but did come out, looked like towards the back end of the Indian River defense.
Yeah, I got to see St. Elizabeth scrimmage Howard. It's a chop block, looks like, or, you know, that's what it looked like the signal was against the Vikings. Again, young team here for St. Elizabeth. A lot of underclassmen. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seniors. And 1, 2, 3, 4 juniors. So a lot of 9th and 10th graders on this roster for Coach Mike Lemon, and you know they've got some talent. You know, last week they challenged Archmere. Look, 42-8. You're going to see that, and you're going to be like, no, they didn't. That was a competitive game in the first half.
Here is Andrews, able to get out of the pocket. Just going to throw that one into the dirt. Maybe the right play by the freshman as pressure was coming off the edge. So it started after the touchdown run for Javion Chandler. The spike in the celebration was a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. And if you're just joining us, there have been a fair share of penalties here in half number one.
They just threw another one. Dead ball penalty here. Rough.
Looks like
they're
we'll have
calling.
one more.
I think they just called intentional grounding. I'm pretty sure that's what I just watched. But let's see.
Now, again, he was out of the pocket.
Oh, they're picking it up
I
and
was going to
waving
say,
it
the
off.
ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, but he had a receiver in the area. It was right to the sideline. The ball was landed right at the feet of his intended target, so should not have been an intentional grounding. But after the chop block on first down, it is second and very long. We'll call it second and 19 here for St. Elizabeth's. Last week, Andrews 13 of 27, a $140, a touchdown, and an interception in that tough game against Archmere. Brown was very limited in that contest, 8 carries for 20 yards, 2 catches for 28. Gavin Andrews, a big day through the air, 50 yards and a score. So second and 19 here, motion to form trips to the bottom of the screen. Andrews, quick throw out to the flat, was looking for Jaden Gonzalez, I believe. Or no, Gavin Andrews actually the intended target. Pass falls short.
Hey, looking for his brother there, and he had him. Out of the backfield there. Ball was just a little bit underthrown. Hey, freshman quarterback, first time on his home field. There's going to be potentially some jitters here. And, that one definitely going to be one you're going to get that with a freshman quarterback. You're going to get some inconsistency there.
And we're seeing a good job, or at least St. Louis liking to get Cole Andrews, the freshman quarterback, out of the pocket the last couple of times. Some play action, got him on the move. But now third and 19 after the chop block, 2 incomplete passes. Andrews, straight drop back, just going to launch this one up in the air, looking for over the shoulder and got him. Or no, dropped in and out of the hands of Jihad Brown. It was a good throw by the freshman Pat Cole Andrews, and I must have missed the ending, but it was over the shoulder, just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, perfect throw, beautifully placed out there. Jihad Brown just kind of got close to that sideline. I think he was worried about getting the foot down, and that ball just tailed right over the outside. It's perfect placement. He just couldn't quite haul that one in. Missed opportunity there for the Vikings.
Punt team on as we now 4th and 19 from their own 46. Good snap. Punt is up, courtesy of, I believe, Cole Andrews, also the punter. Takes a Indian River hop, going to be touchdown at around the 33-yard line, and now we'll see the Indian River offense back out onto the field, fresh off a touchdown drive last time around, finished off by a 16-yard run by Javion Chandler. So 7-0 Indian River, that's where we stand here.
Yeah, they were a great drive from Indian River last time out onto the field. And like you said, Nick, they finish it off with a touchdown. You know, they've got some athletes on the field. They've got the size advantage over St. Elizabeth as well. Let's see if they continue to try and utilize that. Spreading the field out here, it looks.
Slot to the right, one lone receiver far out wide to the top of the screen. Under center with 2 backs, here is Grice. Tight end in motion, they'll turn. Hand up the middle. And keeping his feet moving and pulling some Vikings with him is Caden Spencer. I believe that was the freshman on the carry. And it was.
It's a good run right there. Moving some bodies out of the way. And, you know, that's going to be the challenge for this Viking team. New guys in new roles. Who's going to step up? And you look at the Indian River roster, you know, they got a lot of 9th and 10th graders as well. Both of these teams sporting young rosters. Look at this.
Second and short, they hand it back up the middle, able to escape a loss on the play and still fighting. I believe that once again is the freshman Caden Spencer. And again, it looked like a TFL tackle for loss in the backfield. He makes a quick juke move, able to pick up a few yards, and that'll set up third and very short.
I'll tell you what, good second effort, because he was swallowed up in the backfield by Lucas Rayburn. And he was somehow able to fight through that and nearly pick up a first down. Tremendous second effort.
So now third and very short. This huddle taking a little bit longer. As Dylan Grice heads back out now.
This is where you just got to line up and try and move bodies up front.
Turn, quick give back to the freshman Spencer. He'll have a first down and a little more. Out to the 46-yard line. And a new set of downs for the Indians.
It's a good run. Good run, good job. They hustle up to the line and just continue with the success that they've had so far early. And it looks like they're announcing that as handy, Nick. There's 2 number 4s on the team. Confusing.
There you
PA
go.
announcer
Again,
says hand.
right.
One of us is right.
That's right. We'll go with the sophomore over the freshman here. I apologize to everyone down south.
No worries, man.
Davin Handy, the sophomore. This time they'll go back to the touchdown scorer, Javion Chandler. Nice cut inside. And he's going to propel himself and fall forward for a nice chunk on first down. Give him 8.
Hey, good work right there. Kept the feet moving, followed his blocks. Junior tailback. Nice, stayed patient and turned that into an 8-yard gain.
So Indian River on that last drive finally got into a little bit of a rhythm there, able to cap it off with a touchdown. Back with a little rhythm here on the next drive after that nice chunk there by Chandler. 2nd and 2 as they're now into Viking territory. Motion, they'll turn, speed sweep. The give is to Girado. Tries to cut it up, not a lot of room. He'll be close to the marker, but going to be maybe a yard short.
Rayburn's going to get the tackle, but the play was made from Jose Maldonado, number 9, the junior. He came up from his outside linebacker position and forced that speed sweep inside.
Set the edge, Pat. That's what you got to do.
That's right, and you know all about that, my friend.
Perfect job.
It was really, really well done right there, and it sets up now an opportunity to try and come up with a stop. 3rd and short here for Indian River.
Maldonado, 5 tackles. That was 2nd for St. E's last week in the loss to Archmere. Motion here. They'll turn, give to Chandler. Met in the backfield. Makes one Viking miss. He'll be close, and he's not going to get there. And that's going to set up 4th and short here, Pat. And we saw Coach Townsend earlier go for it on 4th and 10. This one might be another 4th down opportunity here to go for it.
Hey, we'll see. That was Rayburn and Spreewell Dickerson, the 9th grader, number 51 for St. E's, coming in there and wreaking some havoc. And I think this is a good call. I would go for it here.
I'm with you.
You know, you've had the momentum. You know, you're at a spot here where you could trust your defense out there in case you don't get it. 4th and short, you're going to want to convert this. I would look for a run up the middle to Chandler.
Grace under center. He'll turn. That'll be it. Chandler with a nice jump cut inside, and he'll have enough for a new set of downs. Yeah. And another 4th down conversion on back-to-back drives here for Indian River.
Yeah, great patience right there. And again, he's hitting the backfield, but he's hit up high. So he's allowing him to keep them legs moving. And he did exactly that, picks up 1st down yardage. Those are kind of back-breaking 1st downs that'll help you wear a defense down.
Handy coming in to smell Javion Chandler for a little bit of a breather here. So the sophomore will be the back. Slot to the right side, flanker to the left. This time play action, flood to the right. Out of the pocket is Grice, going to fire across the middle. Had Hopkins, or excuse me, his intended target was Knight across the middle, and that one in and out of his hands.
Say what, I like Grice. Really good form on the rollout. Set the feet, threw on the run with some pepper right there. That was an impressive throw from the young man, and you know, that's something that they can get going. That could be a very big part of this Indian River offense. I liked what I saw right there, even though it was an incomplete pass. It was on time, it was on target, just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, good play coach by Townsend in the offense there that time. A couple quick hitters up the middle. This time they play action, get Grice down at the pocket. Had a few guys open on the flood. Just in and out of his intended target's hands. You look now at the Indian River, some skill position players, again, to keep your eye on. Of course, we've already seen Javion Chandler, the big tight end, number 85, Bryce Johnson. You've seen him at flanker here a few times already this first half. Rashad Hopkins out wide at number 11, wide receiver. Then you've got the Darnell Stokes and Kyrie Knight, number 2, in the slot as well. We've seen Tyjon Girado on the couple speed sweeps. So that's the offensive guys to keep an eye on here for Indian River. And Pat, we're seeing them kind of dish the ball out to everybody here early in the first half, and they've got some weapons, and they're going to try to get the ball to as many guys as they can here.
Well, and you know, that's good because it's a good strategy. Keep the defense guessing. Don't become predictable.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Deep orbit motion. They're going to toss it to it. Power toss, if you will, to Knight out of the backfield, and St. E's was ready for it. He'll pick up, though, maybe 3 or 4, and that's going to set up 3rd and a little over maybe 3rd and 6.
Maldonado is the initial hit on the play, and the rest of his teammates come and clean up. But again, St. E's inability to wrap the legs up, that's another 2 yards after that. A credit to these Indian River running backs. They are keeping the legs moving, and they're gaining extra yards because of it.
Third down, but if you know Indian River so far here at half number 1, 2 down territory for the Indians into Viking territory. They'll need 6 here on third down. Grice, straight drop back, 3-step drop, fires, has his man in the middle of the field. It's Hopkins, and he's going to make a defender miss, stay on his feet, and he'll finally get wrestled down inside the 20. And a nice gain. Call it 21 yards for Grice, finding his wide receiver, Rashad Hopkins.
Tell you what, actually not too bad coverage there. Hopkins sat in the zone perfectly. And there was a linebacker coming out to that hook to curl.
Hook to curl, there it is.
He's coming out to that. But Grice flung that thing in there with great precision, with good velocity, snuck it right past the defense for a first down pass.
Nice timing between the QB and his wide receiver. Handy gets a quick hitter here up the middle. Ball, I believe, might have come out unless the Handy just bounces off a few defenders, and that is true. That was Handy like a pinball inside, picking up an extra few yards. With yards after contact, we'll give him about 5 yards on the first down carry.
Yeah, these Indian River running backs, that's what they're doing, man. They just keep the legs churning. They're taking hits. There's good contact being made, but the legs aren't getting wrapped up, and they're just continuing to fall forward. You got to give credit to them.
Slot to the left. 3 receivers on the field for Grice. It's Hopkins, Knight, and Stokes. They'll hand it to Javion Chandler. Chandler going to try to bounce it to the outside. Avoids a tackle from the corner, cuts in.
Penalty marker, Nick.
And, of course, Laundry on the field. So a first and goal coming up, awaiting the flag. It's going to be against Indian River, and that'll back them up.
Drive killers, man. There's holds like that, and a lot of times you'll see that on these inside designed runs, and then the halfback looks to bounce it outside. And right there, you saw, I think, the technique led the offensive lineman to block as if it was going in the middle. Once they realized it was getting bounced out, you start to reach a little bit, right? The hands, you're taught to grab on, right? But you're supposed to be keeping it in tight.
Don't let them see it.
All of a sudden, if you're supposed to be pushing a guy forward and the running back's supposed to be on your left, you can hide it a lot better than if the running back goes to the right, so the defender moves to the right and it pulls your hands with you. Hopefully I explained that visual.
I got a great visual here up in the press box at Abessinio. I'll back him up after the hold. Grice, play action. Looking to the pylon. Lofts it up for Stokes, and it falls incomplete.
Nearly intercepted. Andrews stayed at home back there. Gavin Andrews it was. And he nearly got his hands on that one. Not a bad throw from Grice. So you go up there, let your guy one-on-one, see if you can go up and make a play. Stokes couldn't quite get the feet underneath him to go up and make a play on the ball, but nonetheless, you live to fight another down.
After the incompletion, 3rd and 15 now. That first down marker sitting right at the 10-yard line. Ball at the 25. Deep motion. Grice will turn and pitch it to Knight, who tries to cut inside. And he's wrapped up quickly for a loss, and that's St. E's Vikings with a big stand after the penalty.
Jihad Brown, I'll tell you what, man. That was perfect execution there from Brown. He came up, he went outside in, wasn't going to let the edge get up, and then as he saw the tailback load to cut back, what did he do? Went for the legs, Nick. See what happens? You tackle the legs, the running back can't go anywhere. Really nicely done from the Viking outside linebacker or corner.
Jihad Brown, again, two-way starter for St. E's, that main go-to guy maybe in the backfield this year after Kasim Benson taking his talents to Lycoming. And maybe Indian River going to use that final timeout here of the first half. So Grice going to want to talk things over with his squad. Indian River leading 7-0 over St. Elizabeth. The Vikings, again, participants in the last 2 Class 1A state championship games. 2 tough losses to the Laurel Bulldogs, who move up here to Class 2A. But both of these teams, as Pat mentioned earlier right before we went on the air here, both of these teams are at least consistently used to being in the semifinals here in Class 1. So nothing changing, at least goal-wise, for both of these programs here this year. They come into this contest in front of us today, both ranked in the top 5. And again, this is your first State Ortho game of the week with the best trained physicians up and down the state and all the current state-of-the-art techniques. You can reach them at firststateortho.com, and don't forget to tell them that you saw the ad and heard it right here on Delaware Live Sports. So a shout-out to First State Ortho, some of the best in the business. And now back to the field, 4th and 15 for Grice out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap, looking to the left side, double move. Nobody's there, and he's going to be brought down for a sack.
Wow, what a job off the edge by Terrence Williams. The sophomore linebacker just was not going to be denied. Grice had the eyes downfield. He looks like he was set to throw, but the rusher coming through free on him just didn't have the time to get that pass away. That's a big stop for the Vikings here as we get close to closing out the half to not allow Indian River to push that advantage to 2 scores.
1st and 10 after. It was going to be a 1st and goal after the 12-yard carry from Javion Chandler on 1st down. It was a 10-yard holding penalty and didn't gain another yard after the penalty on the drive, did Indian River. Now here comes the St. E's offense, 1st and 10 here from the 35. Andrews going to hand it off to the right side. I believe that's Jihad Brown.
It was.
And he'll pick up a few on the carry clock winding, 1:23 and ticking here in the first half.
And Brown, good initial push, but he's did a nice job out there at cornerback. I believe that was number 9 out there, Robert Rybinski, coming up and making the tackle, limiting that gain to only a 3-yard gain. That could have been a lot more.
Rybinski, one of the wide receivers to watch here in this game, doing it on defense, though. There that time, coming back the other way, misdirection handoff. That's Gavin Andrews. And he'll have a 1st down carry up outside the 45 to the 46-yard line with 51 seconds remaining here, at least for the moment. Going to wind here quickly.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout here from St. Elizabeth. And good run there from Andrews, because if he tries to bounce that out, he's going to run right into the hands of Javion Chandler, the outside linebacker cornerback out here. And instead he keeps it in tight, and he pushes forward for a 1st down. Good run. And now Coach Lemon will take a timeout, thinking, all right, we're a play potentially away from getting into scoring range here, so let's see if we can make something happen.
And again, in past years, St. Elizabeth has had a kicking game. Unsure about how that would be here in 2023. Haven't seen it yet. But again, plenty of time, 51 seconds, and getting into a little bit of rhythm offensively maybe for the first time tonight is St. Elizabeth. And you talked about the talented freshman Andrews here at quarterback, Cole, number 15. Coming off 140 and a score last week. You talk about having Gavin also on this team with him here to kind of ease him in as a freshman. And we'll see if they put the ball in his hands and let him put the ball in the air here with 50 seconds.
I watched him in his scrimmage. The young man can throw the football, man. He really can. I know he's been misfiring here, since we've been, got through our technical difficulties from what you folks have been able to see. But this kid's more than capable.
Wide receiver, it's Andrews in motion. Quick throw out of the gun. Missed Jihad Brown. Almost intercepted. It was a quick slant to the top of the screen to Jihad Brown. Just a little bit out of his reach, almost into the hands of the safety, but falls incomplete. Clock will stop at 46 seconds, 2nd and 10.
He threw that a little too out in front, and he's lucky. Rybinski got his hands on the football, but couldn't quite corral that one.
2nd and 10. Ball sitting once again here at the 46-yard line. 1st down at the 44 of Indian River. 7-0 Indians over the Vikings here in the first half in this Class 1A matchup featuring 2 top 5 teams. Under center goes Andrews, the freshman. They're going to go jet sweep here. Going to hand the ball, put it into the hands of Nehemiah Hamilton, the junior running back, and not a lot of running room.
Yeah, there's not much room there, and we'll wind down under 30 seconds here in the half.
What do you think here, Pat? You drop back, throw one deep, or you kind of run the ball here again? You got a freshman quarterback taking a shot?
Yeah, I'm taking a shot, but that's me. You see if you can catch the defense lacking. You're letting the clock run, right? So maybe you think maybe Indian River's like, all right, they're just going to run this one out. Take your shot here and see what happens. And if you incomplete and there's time left, punt it away.
Out of the gun, and now a whistle before the snap with 5 seconds and maybe the last time out of the half for Indian River.
And there you go. That's what that comes down to is they're anticipating, oh, maybe they're just going to take this thing to half. They run up on the line, and now you got to get yourself geared up, ready to go. That's a good final timeout used there by Indian River and Coach Townsend. You do not want to get caught sleeping right before the half with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, it could cost you a game. Another big guy St. E's is missing in this situation would be the wide receiver Chris Character, who was so good the last couple years. A big playmaking weapon, can run the ball, catch the ball. No longer here as well. So him and Benson are gone. And again, you got some of these new skill players you're looking for. Gavin Andrews has been around the block here for St. E's before. He'll have some experience coming back. And You talk about him, and then Jihad Brown going to be the guy getting a bulk of the work here this year in the backfield for St. E's.
Yeah, that's with the graduates concluding, you're going to think you're going to probably lick some wounds early in the season, but guys are going to get new opportunities, new roles, and it'll be interesting to see who falls into those. And the same thing on the Indian River side.
2 high safeties here for Indian River defensively. 7 seconds, final play of the first half.
There's a timeout from Coach Lem.
And we'll take one more. So the first timeout from Indian River, the second timeout for St. Elizabeth. Clock remaining here at 7 seconds. We wind down half number 1. Don't forget Laurel and Caesar Rodney getting at it underway here on Delaware Live Sports on the other side of our YouTube channel here today. Pat, you had a fantastic one last night. Talk a little bit about Dover and Appoquinimink. We had a chance to talk to Dover this week. High expectations for that Dover team coming off in that championship loss last year. A lot of talent back. Jaycon Quilby and company. How'd they look up close and personal last night in a tough one?
Nick, they looked really good. They looked really good. And like I said last night, I know there was a lot of chatter around the Twitter sphere about, hey, we got to start giving some roses to Dover here. Yes. They're kind of the forgotten team. 2 out-of-state wins coming into the game. They've now scored 40-plus points in 3 consecutive games, Nick. They put 45 up on Appo. And there's a lot of, I don't know what they're chattering about.
A lot of commotion on the field, but we're ready. 7 seconds, final play of the half coming.
We'll talk more about Dover, probably at the half here.
They deserve it. Andrews looking to throw, going to fire, looking for Gavin Andrews, who couldn't haul it in at the 40. But Pat will have time to put it in the air one more time. 3 seconds left on the clock here.
Yeah, take your chance. 4th down. You're not going to – look, an interception's as good as a punt here. But, yeah, Dover, you got Cosme, Kilby, John Parker back. And
all back. And they've been starting for years. It feels like they've been starting for 3 or 4 years. And they have. That's right. That's why.
3 years under Coach Chip Knapp. And then you also got to keep an eye out on Cole. He was a youngster last year as a freshman. Jaheim Cole came in, kind of picked some things up. Now, another year older, he was a difference maker last night. So you got 4 game-changing players on the offensive side, a huge offensive line, some playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. They're as well-rounded a team in this state as there is.
Final play of the half. Here's Andrews. Pressure coming, going to roll, put it in the air. That one is tipped and knocked to the floor, incomplete, and that'll do it for half number 1 as the teams head to the locker room here at Abessinio Stadium. 2 top 5 teams in Class 1A doing battle in week number 2 here in Wilmington. 5 St. Elizabeth's trailing. Number 2 Indian River 7-0 as we head to the half. Pat Javion Chandler's 16-yard touchdown run has been the difference. Our fair share of flags as well here in half number 1. What stood out to you between Indian River and St. Elizabeth?
Yeah, good competitive battle here. I think both teams have had their moments. Indian River putting together a really solid scoring drive there and a really nice run for the touchdown, as you had mentioned, by Chandler. They come in, the more experienced team. They got some game changers out there, and aside from a penalty, it really kind of stopped them, and they could be up here with a 2-score lead going into the half. They did a good job there in that first half, and take a shutout into the break.
It's going to be a good second half here in Wilmington, live from Abessinio Stadium. We're going to head to the locker room when we come back. We'll get you some scores from up and down the state here in Delaware, some high school action. University of Delaware Blue Hens home opener tomorrow against St. Francis. A lot of action here in the state of Delaware this weekend. So we're going to take a little break here at the half. We'll be right back on Delaware Live Sports. Indian River leading St. Elizabeth 7-0.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Casty Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
First State Orthopedics statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Soto Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Soto Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Soto Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. When someone called me to do a job, I always said yes. Whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything from epoxy floors to painting buildings to spray foam insulation, spray fireproofing. If it deals with a coating, we can handle it. So when our customers call and they're under the gun and they know the need to get a job done, they know who to call because we perform. We've always been performed. We've never been replaced out of 37 years of business. For any of your painting needs, we can handle it.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is a perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon.
Your home, your community, It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
And welcome back live inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Alcindri alongside my partner, Pat Garianis. Jason Winchell has now made his way up to the booth alongside Mike Lang. We've got a good one. Class 1A matchup. Two top 5 teams. Number 5, St. Elizabeth's playing host to the visiting number 2, Indian River Indians. Pat, a action-packed first half in terms of penalties on the field, a fair share there, but the difference, Indian River able to punch it in there in the second quarter, a 16-yard touchdown run for Javion Chandler. Indian River, though, has had a few opportunities in the red zone. The Vikings with a big defensive stand to close out the first half, but that's where we are, 7-0, Pat, here so far. And this one, some other scores, though, from up and down the state here on a Friday night in Delaware.
Absolutely. Got 2 finals for you. Mount Pleasant getting a hard-earned victory over McCain, 28-26, and that one played earlier today. And how about this? How about this story? First State Military Academy. They're on a roll, folks.
Yes, they are.
They took care of Christiana tonight, 46-0 in that one as a final. Couple halftime scores for you. Cape Henlope and blanking Delcastle. This is a little bit surprising. They at least
Delcastle been on the rise here.
35-0 at halftime, and Caravel leading Howard. How about that? The Wildcats hanging with Caravel, 28-12 at halftime, and it was actually 21-12 right prior, 14-12 at one point there. So 2 unanswered touchdowns for Caravel going into the half. And the last score update we have is Lake Forest trailing Red Lion Christian Academy 6-0 after 1.
And that was going to be a good one as well. We had a chance to talk to the Lake Forest Spartans, already dealing with some adversity early in their season, losing their quarterback Jonathan Tyndall there early. But again, they've got the talent. They're rallying, and they've had a great start to their season. That's a heck of a matchup with Red Lion there. That's one that's going to be a good one.
Red Lion's got skill, talent all over the field on their offensive side of the football.
Indian River set to boot it away here to start things in half number 2. They lead 7-0, 16-yard touchdown run from Javion Chandler. Pat, we talked a little bit about St. Elizabeth's offense. Going to have to be different this year when you don't have a star-studded running back like Kasim Benson. Of course, you talk a little bit about Jihad Brown. He's been able to fill in and, do a very nice job in the backfield. But the offense looking a little different than what we saw last year. Again, with a new freshman quarterback, you're going to expect a little bit of growing pains here.
A little bit of growing pains. Things are going a little slower because the guys are trying to get up to speed, adapt to their new roles, and just adapt to playing football in general. A lot of young guys out there on this field. We'll see what they can do here in the second half. Going to start with the ball.
That's a nice boot and better kickoff coverage. How about that? Running down and making the play. Michael Paranto, the sophomore, going to come down and make a nice tackle, and that's where St. E's will start things from their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, great work running down the field from Paranto there. Would not be denied. Just shot out of a cannon. That's what you want to see out of a special teamer. And that's how you get yourself on the field, young man. He is a sophomore. You take advantage of those opportunities. Next thing you know, you're out there on the defensive side of the ball.
That's how it starts. And again, Pat, I'm not sure if you keep up with WWE anymore. I just received a notification that The Rock made a return tonight. Is that true? Is that something you've heard about it in the making? Is The Rock back?
I heard something about WrestleMania in Philly.
My goodness.
That's the rumblings.
He's back.
I don't follow WWE, but I saw that on Twitter today.
There's Jihad Brown. Gets the toss on first down. He'll pick up about 5 yards. So a good start on first down for the Vikings to kick off this drive here in the third.
And while we're still early in the drive, here's what I do follow. There's usually some good, 90s WWE, 2000s WWE accounts on Twitter, and they'll do the on this day in 1999 or whatever, you know what I mean? It's some DX, unloading on somebody, or the Mick Foley getting thrown off of the steel cage match.
You know what I stumbled upon yesterday? I don't even know how this came up on Twitter. It was the John Cena and Randy Orton versus the entire Raw roster.
It's insane, man.
2nd and 6. Deep motion for St. Elizabeth. Still going to turn. It's coming back up the middle and room to run. Jihad Brown off to the races, and he's going to find 6 for St. Elizabeth.
Wow, how about that? It was a pitch to the up man, and instead of taking it out, it looked like they just knew everybody was flowing outside. He hit the cutback lane and hits the pay dirt. What a job there. What vision from Brown.
75 yards, and no doubt for Jihad Brown. How about those afterburners? As he was not going to get caught, we'll call it 74 for the running back. And we had just talked about it's hard to replace a guy like Kasim Benson. But that's something we used to see Benson do, and Jihad Brown looking good doing it there for St. E's.
Absolutely. Like I said, just great vision, finding the gap and going, and taking it the distance, running away from the defense there. And, just a side note here, equally as impressive, whoever that young man is down there on the chains, the down marker, he just full-fledged sprinted down there to get ready for this 2-point conversion. Brown again on the cutback. He's not going to get in, so 7-6 to score. But got to rib the young man down there on the chain gang.
Showing off the speed. You got some athleticism in that family.
This big fella's got a little bit of look. He's out of breath now. He's wiping the brow.
Is St. Elizabeth able to strike first here in half number 2, but as Pat mentioned there on the broadcast, unable to punch it in. So they will still trail 7-6. But Pat, again, we talked about it there at the halftime. Offense a little stagnant from St. Elizabeth, but Mike Lemon dialing up a little bit of the trickery, if you will. Not too much, but just a little different look here to open up with a little toss that's going to go the distance.
That's what they needed, a quick score, get the confidence up, get them into the flow of this game now, see if the energy level picks up for the St. Elizabeth team. Of course, folks at home that are confused as to why I was mentioning something about the chain gang, my father and my brother are both down there working it. My brother,
just to clarify,
I'm telling
if you were wondering,
full-fledged 70-yard sprint to get down there for the 2-point conversion.
Going to plop this one up, looking for it, unable to get to it with St. Elizabeth, and this might turn into something more for Indian River. It's going to give them good field position up near the 48-yard line for Grice and company here on their first drive of the second half.
Tell you what, man, how about that right there? The up man, I'm trying to see the number, 26. I think that's Lewis Hicks picking it up and somehow found the sideline. Well done by that young man.
Almost a little Gibson-esque there from Monday night for the New York Jets. And was able to find that opening, go the distance.
Nick, Hicks Sophomore. I mean, it's all up
Young
and down the
guns.
state, man. Ton of sophomores.
And we talked about this last year. That sophomore class was so talented. It looks like we've got
Another
part two
one,
here.
yeah.
They'll hand it off back to Chandler. Great hole opened up by the offensive line. Now some nifty moves from Chandler as he reaches the second level. And he's going to pick up a nice chunk on first down. It'll be close to a new set. He'll give him 9, a 2nd and 1.
He's doing a good job of staying true to the hole, following his blockers, not getting too ahead of them. And, you know, what they're doing is they're keeping the feet moving. They're getting hit up high, and they're finding a way. How about that right there?
It's true,
Confirmation.
Pat. Confirmation.
Hey, you some man!
Shout out to Marty Sheehan. He's going to educate us there. The rock is back. And so is Javion Chandler. Going to bounce this one to the outside. A new set of downs deeper into Viking territory. Inside the 40 go the Indians.
Chandler has been good, and this is kind of mirroring that scoring drive where you're giving it to him, get good first down yardage, sets him up with a 3rd and short, and they're able to convert. Now, this is interesting. What are they going to do here? They're looking at the uniform. Guy busts almost 17 yards worth of carries, and now we're going to potentially uniform violate him.
Again, it's been an action-packed night for the crew, for the officials' crew here tonight at Abessinio. They've been earning it here tonight.
Here. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, let's take a look.
Sure, it's legit, but looks like whatever he's got on his hand.
Yes, it looks like it was an armband of some sort.
Is it because it's black and
Well, I will
everything
tell
else
you,
is
they
white?
didn't let back when I played. They didn't let me wear those at all.
I
the
know.
Armband, the little wristbands. Yeah,
It was, yeah. Well, and like
so I'm not sure if that rule changed.
And then like in
Can they wear
bad,
those?
everyone had to have the same color undershirt. Like
that's right. That was an issue too. Grice, quick hitter. It's Devin Handy. He has a hole. Going to turn on the Jets. He's to the sideline. He's at the 10. Pushed out of bounds at the 5. And Chandler gets a break due to a uniform violation. In comes Handy, and he's going to take it inside the 10.
so fast, Handy, man. He's just a little water bug out there, able just to float by and just run by people.
Not going to waste much time here. Under 10 minutes to go in the third. Under center, trips to the top of the screen. Another quick handoff. Handy breaks a tackle, going to try to cut it up. He'll stay on his feet and into the end zone. A touchdown run, that time for Davin Handy, the sophomore.
Yeah, he's running through arm tackles. That's the way these guys run. These guys are running the ball hard for Indian River. Both ball carriers.
Indian River making the long trip down. They give up that touchdown to open up the second half to St. Elizabeth. The long one for Jahan Brown, but the offense able to answer right away on their next possession. A beautiful drive for Indian River, who again had good field position to start. And they took it the distance for another touchdown drive. Extra point on the way. Again, the 2-point conversion for St. Elizabeth was unsuccessful. And this kick could give them an 8-point lead. The snap, the hold, the kick is up and through. 14-6. Indian River answers Pat, and both running backs now with a score on the evening. But able to answer through adversity there for Indian River.
I was going to say a great answer from Indian River to be able to respond to a quick turnaround touchdown for St. E's to get them. They just seized the momentum right back with a score of their own. Nice work down there from the IR group.
So they'll set to boot it away again. Great kickoff coverage when they opened up the third quarter. That was Peranto with that big tackle last time around. So clock stopped at 9:48. Not a lot of time off the clock here, but both teams able to punch in long touchdown drives to open up the third quarter.
Yeah, we had the under in the first half, and we're on pace for the over here in a second.
And I will say a nice crowd here tonight at Abessinio on a Friday. Great crowd looking across the way at St. E's, but a great crowd traveling up north from the south here for Indian River. A great job as that one's going to get past Andrews, though. No harm, no foul, as it'll get into the back of the end zone and a touchback.
Tell you what, how about that kick? That was on a rope.
Captain for a reason.
Yeah, that was on a rope right there.
It's Axel Alguin Hernandez, the talented kicker for Indian River, both a captain and player to watch here for this team this season.
I like it, man. You kick that little worm burner. And you know on a turf it's going to skip, and that's exactly what it did. It all the way to the end zone.
And well, I should say turf, a major topic of discussion here this last or previous week.
Yeah.
Some beautiful turf here at Abessinio.
Turf versus grass. I've always been a fan of the grass.
I'm a grass guy.
Yeah.
Deep motion. Andrews are her turn and give to Gavin Andrews, who cuts it up and picks up about 4 on first down.
Well, you see some holes opening up here on the consecutive runs here from the Vikings. Perhaps starting to figure some things out up front. Maybe made some adjustments there at the break.
And again, that's a lot of where they have been so good the last couple of years. There's big offensive and defensive line, but a lot of those seniors gone, as we talked about. Now an opportunity for some new guys to step up. And again, a good matchup, number 2 versus number 5, and pretty even so far. Here on 2nd and about 7. Motion. Andrews going to look to throw. There's pressure. Good job on the offensive line. He'll step up in the pocket, deliver to Jihad Brown across the middle, who might have been looking to run first. And that ball falls out of his hands into the field incomplete.
They had him. That's a good job there by Andrews, staying in the pocket, not getting happy feet, felt the pressure, but stayed in the pocket. Good job by the O-line, and he delivered a pass perfectly. And I'll tell you, Brown had the right idea. He was catching. He was looking to get to the green. I think he pulled the eyes up a little too soon.
Just a little bit.
A little too soon. Couldn't quite corral it.
But you talked about it. Great job by the offensive line to hold off the pressure. The freshman quarterback staying strong in the pocket. That was a good job there. And found his target just in and out of his hands. And now 3rd down here for St. E's. Don't need 7.
Cheerleaders going airborne. Anxiety just went through the roof.
Here comes the pressure. Andrews steps up and has his man. It's Gavin Andrews. Makes the catch at the 40, showing off the speed down the sideline. Will cut back in at the 30 and into Indian River territory to the Indian 29-yard line. And a big play when they needed it. Cole Andrews to Gavin Andrews for a big one.
Andrews to Andrews in stride. Beautiful throw. And nice work there by the elder Andrews, getting to the sideline and turning upfield.
Got some speed, does number 6 in maroon. 1st and 10 now at the Indian River 29-yard line. Cole Soto now the receiver to the top of the screen. Under center is Andrews. Little turn, quick hitter to Jihad Brown. He's going to bounce it to the outside. Can he get away? He can't, but a nice chunk nonetheless. And he'll be close to that 1st down marker. Again, they'll fake the toss, and they come back with the handoff inside.
Absolutely, yeah. Nice little change up there. Good work by the offensive line. Getting some space created. I could see Craig Napier down there, who is on the staff, played with me. All-state running back.
Absolutely.
And you can see him trying to coach Brown a little bit there on the sidelines. I mean, it's a great staff Coach Lemon has. I mean, you got Napier, who's an all-state player. Brian Body Calhoun, who played in the NFL. Amir Dorsey's helping out. He was, I think, All-American at Maine as a punt returner.
Again, Maine was
Rhode Island.
Good
Rhode
back
Island.
in those
Sorry,
years. Same with Rhode Island. As again, trying to come back inside with the handoff. Picking up 2, 2nd and 8. Coming up for St. E's. It's been a action-packed 3rd quarter so far for us. We've had 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, all in a matter of about 3 minutes to kick off the 3rd quarter.
These teams both teams have made adjustments. You've seen that, and offensively, it was a quiet offensive first half. But how about this first 5 minutes or so here in the second half? Both teams have gotten some things going.
You mentioned it. Both coaches doing some work in the locker rooms. And now 2nd and 8. Once again, they'll fake the toss back inside to Jihad Brown. So a similar play here a few times. And having success with it has St. Elizabeth. They'll pick up about 4 there. And now 3rd and very short. Pat, when you're inside the 15-yard line, you might be looking at 2-down territory, especially down by 8 here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that you're spot on. It'll be interesting to see where they go here. Obviously, they've had the little wham play working. Reverse pivot, giving it.
933 wham, one of my peewee plays.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Ran that
the
in high
holes.
school.
That's right. There you go. 3rd and short. We'll call it 2 yards. 6:43 in ticking. St. Elizabeth Needing 2 to keeping the drive alive here on third down. They'll hand it to Gavin Andrews, and he'll launch forward. He was wrapped up that time by number 55, Nick Butts, one of these senior leaders on that Indian River defense, but not before he gets that new set of downs, and now a goal-to-go scenario here for St. Elizabeth's.
I like that call. Andrews has been running the football hard. He obviously had the big pass reception, and they give it to him on the sweep right there, and sets them up with first and goal. Nice play call there.
Andrews, 6 carries for 10 yards last week, had 5 catches for 50 yards and the only touchdown. Can he get another one here? They'll turn, hand it off the other way. Spinning, diving into the end zone is Jihad Brown, as he has touchdown number 2 tonight for the Vikings.
Nice run there from Brown. Again, they fake the pitch, give it to Brown on the reverse. He makes a heck of a cut at about the 3-yard line and just barrels over defenders for his second score of the game. We got ourselves a barn burner now, Nick.
We got a good one. We knew it was here in Class 1A. 2 top 5 teams. And now here comes the offense to try to even this thing up at 14. 2-point conversion on the way.
All on the ground game. Well, not all on the ground game. Ground game finishes it off. The big pass sets it up.
Under center. They'll fake it. Looking to throw is Andrews. His man's covered up. He's going to have to tuck it. He'll run it, and he'll convert it for 2.
How about that? Nice work from the freshman. He dips under some pressure and takes it right to the pylon. Doesn't take the risky throw, and we're all knotted at 14, Nick.
14 all here at Abessinio Stadium. Indian River started things off with a 16-yard touchdown run, courtesy of Javion Chandler in the second quarter. Jihad Brown answers in the third with a 74-yard run. David Hardy with a 4-yard run to give Indian River the lead back. And then once again, it's Jihad Brown with touchdown number 2. This one a little bit closer, just a 3-yard touchdown. But we're all evened up after the 2-point conversion for Cole Andrews as we welcome Jason back up into the box here. And Jason, we picked a good one here for week number 2.
It's good to see Jay, man. He's back up out of the bunker, baby. That's our boy.
It's been a long summer, right? Finally back into the groove of things here during football season. Jay and Mike also doing their fair share of volleyball and Filipino, et cetera. So a lot going on here in the fall.
Oh, there it is, Jay. The bunker's coming.
The bunker in October. You got it decorated with some Halloween stuff and everything.
Oh, they gave up contain.
Oh, and hit hard near on the sideline. It looks like it's going to be a clean play.
It was.
So the run there, the ball was running. It was Lewis Hicks, a sophomore, who we've seen with some talented runs there, and then coming over with a big-time hit. I believe it was Jamel Hammond, the freshman.
Yeah, the freshman came over there with a slobber knocker here on the sideline.
Yeah, great job by Mike Lang to get that one in front of us on the camera there. Nice catch, or nice run,
Mike
and a
Lang's
nice hit
going to get himself a
off.
Delaware Emmy with that camera work right there, my friend. That's unbelievable.
I'll tell you, we've come a long way over the years. All of us have, I think, maybe working some of that camera.
It's humbling. It's the most humbling job here at 302 Sports, Delaware Live Sports. It is the most humbling one. Not the writing, not the announcing, not the
couldn't agree more.
Production. It is without a doubt that camera, man. It'll get you. It'll get you good.
Bobby Rabinski going to head to the sideline here. A quick injury timeout as the senior wide receiver going to take off his helmet. Hopefully he's feeling all right. We'll see him maybe in a little while. Helmet off here in front of us. So we need River offense back out onto the field.
Speaking of helmets, we were getting a good shot at the helmets. Numbers on one side, logo on the other for Indian River.
Slot to the left here. Grice under center to open things up on this drive. They'll turn, hand it off to Javion Chandler. Has a little bit of a hole. He's lifted up and planted to the ground. Tackle made by Jose Maldonado. We talked about him, second on the team to 5 tackles against Archmere, and the linebacker all over the place here in this one.
And Maldonado coming up. And that's what you do the deadlifts for, and that's what you do the power cleans for. Lift him up, put him in the dirt.
Coach Harmon, I'm sure, who we'll hope to have back at some point here in the next couple of weeks, he'll love to hear you say that, a big clean guy.
It's the best exercise. It really is. That could be your only workout of the day. Honestly, you do a couple sets of power cleans, you're gonna be in shape.
Some movement, trips to the right, but it's just a quick dive up the middle to Chandler, who was brought down after a few yards. I believe that was Chase Milnes Chase Milnes, I believe, the senior. As into St. Elizabeth territory goes Indian River, another injury.
And he looks to be shaken
Looks
up.
like a shake-up. They'll probably get him off the field, would be my guess. No, they'll let him stay out there.
Third down
and that is
4.
Alguin Hernandez, the captain, also the kicker.
So 3rd down and 4 here for Indian River. St. E's done a better job on this drive of tackling the legs of the ball carriers.
And we'll see if it's 2-down territory or even if we come to that. Turn, they'll toss it out wide to Chandler. And he's going to be wrapped up as flags fly, but he's breaking tackles. He's going to try to reverse field. And
Gotta
it's
take
not
the legs out.
going to work out, or is it? No, to the 50. Pat, I had to hold my tongue. It looked grim there for Chandler initially, but he just kept breaking tackles. So finally able to get back to almost the line of scrimmage, but now we'll take a look at the flag. And again, we've had our fair share tonight. Looks like we could have a holding call here against the Indians.
It'll be interesting to see what St. E's chooses to do here then. Are they going to take the 4th down or are they going to move them back? Again, though, the tackling.
That's a good point, Pat, when you raise that question there. And Indian River, as we have seen, have not shy to go for it here on 4th down, no matter the distance. But if you're Coach Lem, what do you do here? You accept that penalty, you decline it.
He says he's like, you see him crossing his arms. He's going to decline this and bring up 4th down and a decision for Indian River.
And this drive here, St. Elizabeth has gotten a great push up front from that defensive line and linebacking core.
I think Indian River's going to go for this. So 4th and 5. It was a loss of 1. But again, it's going to come down to tackling.
Could have been a loss of about 15. An unbelievable play by Javion Chandler to get back almost to the line of scrimmage.
It was Reggie Bush-like.
Oh, man, USC Reggie Bush. Give him the Heisman back.
Tavon Austin, you know, that's more up your alley, man, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Here they go. They'll fake the toss, come back with the play that St. Elizabeth had hit them with on the previous drive. It's going to go for a 1st down and more, dragging Vikings inside the 25-yard line. I believe was the wide receiver, Darnell Stokes, who had a quiet first half. They did find a way to get him the ball a few times, and there he is with his biggest play of the ball game on 4th down.
Yeah, well done there by Stokes, running hard, and again, running through arm tackles. And tremendous job keeping the feet moving. That's a huge, huge run. Makes St. E's pay for taking the for not taking the yardage.
And Pat, we talked, that was the same play that St. Elizabeth's had been running. Both of these teams are faking that toss and then coming back with the counter the other way. And it's working for both. New set of downs here for Indian River. Quick hitter. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage is Handy. Contact first made, of course, by number 52, Chase Milnes. Him and Maldonado have been all over the place there at linebacker and defensive line. Mills done a great job up front.
He did a great job of staying at home, not taking the shake and bake and tackling at the belly button, right? I'm sure that's what they taught you.
That's right. Watch
Aim
the,
for the watch
right
the hips.
The hips and
the shoulders can
that's
go
right,
wherever they
everything
want,
moves.
but the hips don't lie. They don't lie. Shakira was right about
Shout
it, folks.
out to Shakira. Still going strong. I think she performed at the VMAs the other day. Yeah. I'll tell you, when you listen to our broadcast, you get a little pop culture, you get a little sports, you get a little Delaware, you get it all.
That's it. You're not kidding.
2nd and 11. It's going to be play action. Grice fires. Too much juice on it. In out of the hands of Bryce Johnson and intercepted.
Tip drill. Like you said, little too much juice. And there's a penalty marker. We'll see what the penalty is here. I think it's a dead ball penalty. But it was tipped in the air. He was looking for Austin Dill. And that ball just went straight up in the air. And Terrence Williams comes up with the interception.
And he was open, had his man out in the flat, but as we mentioned, just too much on it. It looked like looks like Dill wasn't ready for it. In and out of his hands, tipped up in the air and intercepted. And a big turnover forced by the Vikings in a 14-all ball game here late in the 3rd. We're awaiting the call on the penalty.
I believe this is going to be a personal foul against St. E's, dead ball, but we'll see.
Maybe on the block after the interception.
It
was a quick tackle.
There was a late hit, more than likely. Oh, one of my favorite cheers. The be aggressive. Be
it's
aggressive.
Football season. We're back. Again, it's been a while since we've heard some of these chants here on the sideline. Beautiful night for football.
It is a beautiful
night. It absolutely is. So after the penalty and the interception, the Vikings peek deep back in their own territory. 1st and 10 from their own 12. That's where they'll start things. 2:38 to go here in the third.
They've secured some momentum, Nick.
Motion. Andrews fakes the toss. Here comes Jihad Brown. Breaks a tackle, then runs into Javion Chandler, who finishes him off after a gain of about 5.
I'd like to see him stay north and south there, and that's something he'll get coached up on throughout the year. But you want to stay north and south, get as many yards as you can. You start trying to get east and west through the congestion of the middle of the field, it can get a little sloppy. It can get a little slippery, a slippery slope.
They'll call it 6 on the carry for Jihad Brown. Clock ticking almost to the 2-minute mark here of the third quarter. Andrews running back out onto the field. Don't have the stats in front of me in terms of biography stats, if you will. Cole Andrews looks like he's got some height on him there down there, the freshman.
About 6'2", 6'3". Yes, he does.
2nd and 4 after the 6-yard carry from Brown. This time they'll turn and hand it off on the sweep to Nehemiah Hamilton, the junior.
It's a good cut there by Hamilton. Get upfield, take what they're giving you. Good job by the Indian River defense stringing that out, not allowing them to get to the sideline. It'll set up a 3rd down and short. Nice work over there. Number 11, Rashad Hopkins, the senior, did a good job of setting the edge.
3rd and very short here, but obviously not a spot on the field where you're going to want to go for it on 4th down. So a big 3rd down here for both teams, the offense for St. E's and the defense here for Indian River, as we are all tied at 14. St. E's needs about a yard here.
Do we dare see a sneak here? I don't know.
I don't see why not. That's one of my biggest mysteries. Here's Andrews. They'll turn. Quick handoff up the middle. He runs into a group of Indians, and that offensive line for St. E's just pushed back off the snap of the ball, and now a 4th down upcoming.
This is a tough call here for Coach Lemon and company. Look, watch the hard count if you're Indian River. You got to look for the hard count here. You do not want to get a neutral zone infraction. I think you're going to see St. E's try and draw them off, and then a timeout before the expiration of the play clock.
Yeah, 26 seconds and ticking left in the third quarter. 4th and less than about a foot.
No, sneak.
Quarterback sneak for the freshman Andrews. Did he get there? Indian River saying no. The Vikings are saying yes. And it's going to be very close. It looked like he dove forward. They're going to spot the ball, though. It looks like inside the 25.
Give him a 1st down.
So it will be enough.
Risky call right there. Risky
If
call.
you're going to do it, though, you got a quarterback sneak. I do like the play call once the decision is here or there, but I do like the play call once they decided to go for it. And a big play pack, because if that offense unable to get that 1st down, Indian River in striking distance, but don't have to worry about that. Cole Andrews, the freshman, able to find enough. And now a new set of downs for St. Elizabeth.
Gonna head to the 4th quarter here, Nick. That'll run the clock down. What a game what a game.
We've got a good one. Thanks for joining us here on Delaware Live Sports. We're going to take our last break here of regulation. St. Elizabeth and Indian River all tied at 14. When we come back, 4th quarter action live right here on Delaware Live Sports from Abessinio Stadium. We'll be right back.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Welcome back inside 302 Sports, live on Delaware Live here. Nick Allison journey alongside Pat Garianis here at Abessinio Stadium. Mike Lang, Jason Winchell, the North crew in attendance for a top 5 Class 1A matchup here between number 5 ranked St. Elizabeth and number 2 ranked Indian River. Indian River 1-0 on the season after a 28-0 victory over AI that was stopped in the first quarter after the first quarter due to weather. So they got the win. St. E's a tough one as they took on Archmere last week. 42-7 loss for the Class 1A runners-up in back-to-back seasons. And now a level playing field here. Both of these squads ranked in the top 5 in their classes. The same class of 1A, and now going at it here in just a quarter to decide our winner.
Fun third quarter, both teams high execution.
Gavin Andrews will get the first carry to start the fourth quarter, and he's going to be tackled from behind after a short gain, if any at all.
Yeah, not much there. Good work of swarming by that Indian River defense. You saw Colin King as well as Yvonne Griffin in the mix there. Nice work by this IR defense. They're going to try and get the ball back into their offense's hands.
That linebacker Colin King, one of the captains here of the Indian River squad here in 2023. A huge spot defensively at linebacker. Now 2nd and 8. Fresh into the fourth quarter. More motion. This time it's up the middle to Brown. He's hit hard initially. Stays on his feet somehow. He thought maybe the play was dead. He'll get dragged down a few yards back there. First contact made this time by Nick Butts.
Nice work there by Butts.
So Colin King and Butts, the two leading linebackers there that kind of help run that defense. Bryce Johnson going to trot onto the field. And then heading out though now is number 50, Alguin Hernandez, the senior captain defensive lineman.
3rd and 5 here for the Vikings. Watch out for the play action pale. They're going to spread the field. We're going shotgun.
Here we
Trips
go.
to the near side.
One lone receiver to the top here as the freshman Andrews is in the gun. He'll drop straight back, looking to the one-on-one side, going to loft it up, looking for his man, and in and out of the hands once more. I believe that was Jihad Brown, the lone man to the top of the screen, and it was the same play we saw in the first half. One-on-one, send him up the sideline, ball over the shoulder, and once again, Brown can't come up with it, but another good pass by the freshman.
It's a perfect throw right there from the freshman. I'm impressed with the deep ball. I mean, that's 2 of them. Perfectly delivered there. And, you know, it's tough. I mean, these lights out here, obviously Jihad Brown, great running back. It's a little bit different out there at wide receiver. And that ball, you're not used to that ball coming in and dropping in a lot of times like that. Perfect.
And I had some Nick Foles dropping the bucket on it on 2 of his throws there for Cole Andrews.
It did.
Brown already with 2 touchdowns here tonight for St. E's. This time they'll have to punt it away after the 3rd down incompletion. It's a low one, but it will take a St. E's hop, actually. And we'll keep on rolling. So Andrews actually with a decent punt here, and that's going to hit all the way down to the Indian River 29-yard line.
That's a really good punt right there. Talk about a bounce. And then it didn't go out of bounds. It stayed in bounds and went like 5 more yards.
That was a nice punt by the freshman. So a good throw, then a good punt by number 15, Cole Andrews. And now a 10-17 on the clock here in the fourth quarter of a tie game. We'll see the Indian River offense back out onto the field.
Let's see what they can do. And they one good possession, and then they were driving again before the tip pass interception. This offense has been impressive. Only 14 points. It's just surprising to me. Because I feel like they've been moving the ball.
They really have. It feels like they haven't been at least stopped on their side of the field at all tonight.
Yeah.
Handoff from Grice to Javion Chandler on first down, and Chandler able to get to the sideline. Going to turn on the speed inside the 40. Breaks a tackle. And he's going to be tackled just outside the 30, and a huge carry to start this drive for Indian River.
Runs over a defender, too, on the sideline. What a run. Impressive.
They'll give him a break now after the big carry for Chandler. In comes the sophomore Devin Handy. And now we just talked about it, Pat. Haven't been stopped on their side of the field. All it takes is one play right back into Viking territory.
Yeah, it's just a tremendous job. This offense has been good. They've kind of gotten in the way. Interception, big penalties. That's probably taken 2 scores off the board here for them.
Bobby Rabinski now back into the game offensively. He'll be the one wide receiver to the top of the screen here. Stokes is the man to the bottom, Knight in the slot. This time they hand to the sophomore Gavin Handy. He's quick, man. He's going to try to get to the sideline, turning on the Jets. Wrapped up from Gavin Andrews behind and pushed out of bounds inside the 10. But the snap of a finger, Handy showing off the speed, but wait a second.
They're going to get a hold on the edge. I think they're going to get Kyrie Knight over here on the edge. It's a tough one.
And again, coaching staff here for Indian River not happy, looking for an explanation, but that will be brought back by a hold. And if there's one thing, maybe one blemish for both of these two teams tonight here in this one, it's been a great game. Both teams playing pretty well defensively and offensively, but it has been a penalty show here tonight.
It has, and you know, early season, you're going to see that. This is game 2 for both of these teams, so trying to work through, you know, the speed of the game and adjust in that way. But you're without a doubt, you know, the execution has been kind of hampered because of these penalties.
Now, penalty going to back up Indian River after the gain from Handy, so that'll negate the run by the sophomore. Deep motion here. Grice fakes it, comes back the other direction. It's Darnell Stokes on the handoff inside. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, pick up the penalty yardage, 2nd and 10.
Good work there, number 54, Ryan McCormick, the junior. Tackling the legs, doing a good job there. But, yeah, good first down run, 6-yard gain here. It's 2nd and 9 now.
Ryan McCormick led the way defensively in that game against Archmere last week, a game-high 7 tackles. 9:25 and ticking tie ball game here as Indian River deeper into Viking territory. This time they'll hand off straight to Stokes around the edge. And he is wrapped up quickly. First contact made by the corner, Jihad Brown.
Yeah, it's still a good, you know, 5-yard run, 4-yard run. And now you got 3rd and short. So the penalty yardage bumps you back, but now you got a 3rd and manageable here. Nice work from Indian River. Getting a good push up front, really, is where this starts. And the running backs, again, just running through contact, not getting pushed back.
Stokes will head off to the field. So does the sophomore Davin Handy. Javion Chandler back out now at tailback. His last carry went for about 50. And now he's back in on 3rd and about 6. Grice under center. They'll turn. He falls. Does get the ball to Chandler, but nowhere to go. And a big tackle for a loss for St. Elizabeth. And leading the way, big number 50, Lucas Rayburn.
Nice work by Rayburn. And I'll tell you what, you got the quarterback gets his foot stepped on by the center, and that kind of doomed that play from jump. You know, couldn't really get going. Downhill was Chandler, and Rayburn was able to get in there. It was the step that he needed, and it sets up now 4th and 10.
And again, Pat, we were just talking about it. It's 2-down territory. You're looking at 3rd and 5. You pick up a yard or two. It's 4th and very short.
Yep.
Now you lose 5 yards, and now you're looking at a 4th and 10. Offense is going to stay out onto the field for Indian River, but things just got a little bit tougher here on 4th down. Need to get to about the 23. They're going to throw. Grice looking down the sideline, looking for Darnell Stokes, and he's got him inside the 20 and a new set of downs.
Great throw. Beautiful throw there by Grice, and way to go up and make the catch from Stokes. He high-pointed that football, brought it in, made sure to get the foot down. Great execution from Indian River, and if you're gonna win games, being able to mix in the run and the pass is crucial. Nice job there on that passing down.
Huge 4th down conversion on the last touchdown drive. They converted, or the first touchdown drive, about 4 4th down conversions on that one. A big one there to Darnell Stokes. They hand off to Chandler. He lost his footing and heads straight to the ground at the 15. Or excuse me, the 20.
Okay, lost the footing again. It's twice now on these run plays where some missed footing has caused losses for Indian River. Again, just that's the self-inflicted wounds. That's the only thing that's kind of gotten their way tonight.
Chandler started off with a 16-yard run. Jihad Brown answered with a 74-yarder. Devin Handy punched it in from a couple of yards out, and then Brown answered again. That's where we are. Trips now to the top of the screen, 14-14, 2nd and long. So movement up front to the left side of that line. That's going to go against St. Elizabeth, and that'll push them up 5.
Yeah, that one stings for the Vikings. You know, you got a nice first down play, loss, and now it's like they gained 3 yards on first down.
7:09 to go here in the 4th. Trips now to the top of the screen. One receiver to the bottom. Grice hands off to Chandler. He's had a nose for the end zone. Breaks one tackle. He's going to try to reverse field. Can he do it? He breaks another. Able to cut back up the middle and dive forward, and it looks so grim sometimes, Pat. He's hitting the backfield once again, looking like a tackle for loss, but he just finds a way to pick up extra yards.
He's running through the arm tackles. I mean, it's really good work. And, yeah, it's just magician work.
Really is. David Blaine-esque. There from Javion Chandler. He'll catch another breather. Every time he touches the ball, he's got it for about 10 seconds, whether he's making defenders miss or picking up yards. He'll catch another breather. In comes the sophomore Handy. They'll give it to him. He'll cut inside, elude one defender, but he'll be brought down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line, but that's now going to be a first down and goal-to-go scenario here for Indian River as we touch down inside the 6-minute 20 mark.
Perfect drive for Indian River. They converted a couple of third downs, a fourth down as well, and they've churned clock. And now they're in scoring position, chance to take the lead late here, or about midway through the fourth quarter. Really good work kind of settling in here on this offensive drive.
A fourth down conversion, the big play from Grice to Darnell Stokes down the sideline on 4th and 10. The big one on this drive, and now 1st and goal to go from the 3. We're under 6 minutes to go in a tie game. Motion, Grice under center. The handoff to Handy. He's met, but he's going to keep the feet moving. And he'll get dragged down at the 1-yard line and pick up 2, 2nd and goal.
You get down on this part of the field. This comes down to push. Who's generating push? Is it the offensive or defensive line? For the majority of this game, it's been that offensive line for Indian River. So again, they're right where they want to be, on the doorstep.
2nd and goal from about the 2. Trips to the top of the screen, one back. It's Chandler behind Grice. Quick hitter to Javion Chandler. He's met in the backfield and driven back. First contact made by Jihad Brown, who got those legs and drove Javion Chandler back for a loss.
Great work by Brown. He filled the hole playing downhill, and sometimes when you get down and your back's against the wall and they just send an all-out blitz like that, you can't help but get downhill, and that's the benefit. Like St. E's defensively tonight is kind of played on their heels, out of it, almost trying to catch the ball carriers. But down in the goal line situations, you have to play forward, and sometimes, you know, you're seeing the benefit of that. You know that as a linebacker. You got to play forward.
A little bit easier.
It does.
Shortens the field. Grice will turn. They'll try again with Chandler. He'll dive forward. Did he get there? He did not. And now, Pat, a big upcoming play here. 4th and goal. They've got to be, from the looks of it, inside the 1-yard line. So it's 4th and inches from the inch-yard line in a 14-14 game. This next play going to be maybe the play of the game.
It's got to be a sneak. You're this close. Put the ball. Trust your interior offensive line. Let your quarterback get up in there.
Here we go. 4th and goal from the inch. Grice under center. Chandler, the lone tailback. The snap. Quarterback sneak. He's in. Touchdown. Grice and Indian River regains the lead here in the 4th.
Late now in the 4th.
And that was close there, as Chandler able to push him forward. And Indian River uses that big 4th down conversion. Grice over the top to Stokes. And then they're able to punch it in on 4th and inches. And they'll take a 20-14 lead, awaiting the extra point.
Heck of a work. Heck of a job there by Grice. Got right up under his center, stayed low to the ground, and used his strength to push all the way through the goal line. Nice work. What a drive by Indian River when they needed it the most.
Hernandez on for the extra point attempt. Could be big. We've seen St. Elizabeth's go for 2 almost every time here. Kick is up.
Oh, he missed it.
And it's off the post.
Holy smokes. He drilled it, but it hit right on the post.
Doink.
Life for the Vikings.
So, Pat, let's talk about it. Under 4 minutes, 3:51 to go. I believe St. E's does have all 3 timeouts. I could be missing 1 or 2 there. But it looks like they've got all 3. They've got plenty of time here in order to score a touchdown. I mean, potentially, depending how this first drive goes, you may even have an opportunity to get the ball back. It all depends. A lot of football left. But you got to be thinking you want to score right here on this drive if you're St. E's. What do you do here if you're Mike Lemon?
You know, I think you look for Jihad Brown, lean on him. He's been great tonight. I think you look to get the ball as well into Gavin Andrews' hands. You know, he's been making some plays as well. And don't turn down the passing game every day. I think this young man can make some plays through the air. Cole Andrews as well. But I think the ball should be in number 1 and number 6's hands throughout this potential final drive.
Both of those guys back deep, heels at the 10-yard line on this kickoff return. Indian River leading 20-14. 3:51 to go here from Abessinio Stadium. Two teams ranked in the top 5 of Class 1A. And maybe a matchup we could see again down the line.
Little squib.
A squib and then able to hop on it. And that's where St. E's will start this drive at around the 26. So Polytech score update has a lead. Polytech leading Wilmington Charter 26-0 here on this Friday night. So look at the Panthers looking good here. So here we go, Pat. 3:51, 20-14, and the offense for St. E's gonna have to go about 74 yards for the game-tying score.
Let's see what this Indian River defense can do. They got their momentum right now. You've got to secure tackles, and you almost play conservative here defensively. You don't want to take any gambles.
Andrews under center, motion. They'll turn, hand off to Gavin Andrews, back the other direction. And Indian River not fooled that time on first down. And they'll come up and make the play. Of course, leading the way was the captain, Colin King.
Nice work staying honest there. And you know, St. E's still gets a 4 or 5 yard gain, but that could have been a lot more if the discipline wasn't there. So great job by Indian River staying disciplined, staying in their zones, coming up and making a play.
2nd and 6 from just outside the 30-yard line. A little bit of an issue here lining up for the St. E's offense. It's Andrews in the gun with Brown sitting to his left. Here's the snap. Andrews gonna have to get rid of it. Fires across the middle and has his man. It's Gavin Andrews who's gonna get pushed out of bounds at the 50. And once again, the 6'2 freshman standing strong in the pocket, evading the rush coming right at him, and he stands strong and delivers one across the middle.
Yeah, great throw. Great throw. He stayed in there, had pressure coming. He kind of got a little bit nervous, but then he settled in, stepped through, put that ball right on the money to his brother. First down, Vikings.
They got that brother intuition there.
Yeah.
Under 3 minutes to go now. The new set of downs for St. E's. They're just inside the 50 at their own 49-yard line.
Just like in the backyard.
That's right. They've been practicing for years.
Yep.
Gonna go tight here. Under center, though, is Andrews. Brown the back. Gavin Andrews takes the fake. Cole Andrews gonna look to throw. Fires out to the flat. Has his man. It's Jihad Brown who was in the backfield. He'll break a tackle and stay on his feet and dive inside the 30. And some life for St. Elizabeth's.
How about that? Nice little play action pass. The defense sucks all the way up, selling out for the run. And Brown gets right behind the linebackers there. Nice work. Vikings got something going here, Nick.
Could have maybe the best game of the night here on a Friday at Abessinio Stadium. It's your first State Orthopedics game of the week between Indian River and St. E's. 20-14, Indian River leading, 2:35 and ticking. St. E's now into Indian River territory at the 30.
How about the faith Coach Lemon has in his freshman quarterback here?
Double slot, jump off the line. Did he jump a little early and they're going to get him? It looks like that's going to be an offsides against Indian River. It should go against Vaughn Griffin, the junior defensive standout, who tried to gain a little bit of an edge on that snap.
That's 5 yards. 1st and 5.
Yeah, so it will be against the Indians. That'll push him forward 5 yards.
But again, Coach Lemon, the faith he has in his freshman quarterback, Cole Andrews, lining him up now in the shotgun. Lets him throw twice, 2 for 2, to get him down in the scoring range. And then he had lined him up for a 3rd consecutive pass right there. Obviously, Coach Lemon, former quarterback himself, St. Mark's alum.
That's right.
Played Wesley, coached me in high school as a position coach quarterback, so he loves his quarterback play.
Andrews, quick handoff up the middle to Brown. Breaks 2 tackles, tackled by Nick Butts from behind. And he's just outside the 10-yard line. St. E's putting together a very nice answering drive potentially here.
God, this is a heck of an answer here from the Vikings to give themselves at least a shot here. Indian River Now they got to start getting a little aggressive here defensively.
And big for the Vikings. They can pick up a first down at the 1.5-yard line. So that could come into play here. 1st and 10 from the 11. Handoff up the middle. The Jihad Brown has an opening. He'll dive forward to about the 5. And St. E's cooking with grease here late in the 4th quarter as they have taken this Indian River defense right down the field. And now 131 and ticking. And if you're Indian River, when do you start maybe thinking about using your timeouts here?
You know, Nick, it's something I've been thinking about is when does that happen? Obviously, you've got a lead, so you got to trust your defense here. But, yeah, timeouts all over the board here for both teams. Let's see. What a finish.
Another inside handoff to Jahid Brown. This time, not a lot of running room. It's Rashad Hopkins, I believe, coming up and making the play. They're saying he took the ball out of his hands.
He absolutely did, but it's going to come down to the officials see it. I don't think they did.
And they're having a discussion. They're saying they took the ball right out of his hands, and it should be a turnover.
There's a timeout from Coach Lemon.
And now, again, that won't affect the review. Obviously, that won't happen here. But, Pat, what did you see on that one? Did that ball come out early?
Yeah, Brown had the ball in one hand. And when he was being tackled, it looked as though that Rashad Hopkins had a hold of the football as he was trying to bring down Brown and ripped it out of his hands as Brown was falling on top of him. There was without a doubt a fight for the football there. But at the end of the day, the officials, that's a tough call to make at that point.
Tough call to see for sure after the carry. That one didn't go for much. And now you're looking at 3rd and about a yard, Pat. And we talked about it. That first down would be big sitting at that 1-yard line. It would otherwise be 3rd and goal from the 2 or 3.
I'm having flashback nightmares of my junior year at St. Elizabeth against the St. Mark Spartans in the exact same situation as we have right now. It was a 1-possession game. We were down 6. Late in the 4th quarter, we drive all the way down with some passes, and it ends up being 3rd and 1 instead of 1st and goal. I'm not going to say how it ends.
Well, here we go, Pat. Attention back onto the field here at Abessinio. Under a minute to go. 3rd and a yard. St. E's trailing by a touchdown. They fake it. Come back the other way to Gavin Andrews. 1-on-1. Can he get there? He can. He stopped. But did he get to the first down marker? That's the key here. And I don't know if he did. He did not, Pat. And so here we go. This is exactly what we maybe thought we would have seen. 4th down and about a yard, less than a yard to get a new set of downs. If it was 4th and goal, you'd have to get 2 yards here for the score. That's a big difference here.
They got to get up on the line.
25 seconds, my goodness, looking at the clock here. This one's coming down right to the wire. 4th and about a yard for St. E's to keep the drive going.
We're in the gun, 15 seconds.
Andrews going to roll out. He's going to throw. And that ball hits the ground incomplete, and that'll do it.
Wow, what a stop by Indian River.
They flood out the freshman Cole Andrews, Pat, on 4th and a yard. They want him to put the ball in the air. They basically gave him the option. If they don't have a receiver, take off around the edge, see if you can get there. If you do, put it in the air. That defensive end for Indian River came off the edge, nowhere to run, had to put the ball in the air, and the defense was waiting for it, able to knock it down.
Now what is this? There's a stoppage here.
I think a sideline warning maybe to Indian River, who had a little bit of a celebration.
The football. They were looking for the football. They said they got it, exchanged it out. All Indian River's got to do is take a knee here. Well, there's 2 timeouts left for St. E's, but there's not enough to get the ball back. What a stop there by Indian River.
And didn't even allow that first down marker to come into play. They had almost 3 plays that needed just to pick up a yard for that St. E's offense, and Indian River almost took the ball away on the second, stop them on the 3rd. And St. E's got whatever they wanted on this drive here to try to tie things up all the way, Pat, until they got to where you mentioned, inside the 5, and things just stalling out here late.
Yeah, just, good work getting down the field. And, that's just a heck of a stop there by Indian River. Tremendous effort down there.
A defensive stand that they could remember maybe the rest of the season.
And you look, again, the nerves are high. You've given up significant yardage through the air. Your back's against the wall. St. E's is just moving it, mowing you down the field, and you come up with 3 big-time stops with your back to the end zone. That's grit. That's heart right there. That's that is for Coach Townsend and this staff. You've got to be happy with, the mindset, that the will that your team has.
Now again, you got to be careful here. Does Dylan Grice in the offense?
He's got to go right to a knee.
Not a lot of room to work with.
You don't want to go backwards.
And St. E is just going to lay off as expected.
There's the timeout.
And there is the timeout. Again, we're assuming there is 1 or 2 timeouts left. And no, they're going to let it run out.
Now, they called the timeout.
Oh, they did. Okay. So again, we'll stay right here. 3 seconds to go. 20-14, Pat. And it was a true goal line stand, right? They were about less than a yard from that first down marker. You basically can kind of count that as the end zone almost in this situation, and just couldn't get there. They had 2 plays to get less than a yard. And Indian River, that defensive line and linebacking core that has been special for them, comes up huge.
Yeah, the secondary, too. I mean, it's
Yes.
a pass play on fourth.
That's right, on fourth down,
Fourth
correct.
and an inch.
Great coverage.
The shotgun rollout pass, so you got, you can negate the, direct dive. You can negate the QB sneak. And they just come down to pass coverage at that point, making sure that you locked all windows and doors. And they did exactly that. That ball fell incomplete. Well done by Indian River.
Out to the man that made the legend. Missed that man on the airwaves. But now 1 more play potentially to go. St. E's does use a timeout. Indian River Crown getting into it here late in Abessinio. But it should just be 1 more play and 1 more kneel here for
1 more timeout for
Dylan
St.
Grice. We'll see if the 3 seconds is enough for this play to run. And he is just going to take a knee. And that'll do it here at Abessinio Stadium, and a huge win for Indian River. Knocked out of the playoffs by St. E's a few years back. They get a little redemption here in the regular season, and the number 2 ranked team in Class 1A improves to 2-0 on the year. And Pat, their first full game of action. That game last week stopped after 1 quarter due to weather. They get 4 quarters in today, their first 4-quarter full game, and it took them to the end. But they got a big victory here on the road and a long trip up north.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just grit there at the end, Nick. St. E's made some adjustments. Were able to score 2 touchdowns on them after they pitched a shutout in the first half. And again, a third drive was looking a little bit nervous here for Indian River, but again, just the grittiness of this group to not allow that moment to take them over. They stepped up when needed, and they got themselves a huge win here on the road. Well done from Indian River.
Again, talking to people down south, Indian River, this could be their year in Class 1A. They've got the roster, they've got the coaching, and off to a great start is your number 2 ranked team here in our Delaware Live Sports rankings. Number 5, St. Elizabeth's, a tough start to their season. Pat, a tough one on the road at Archmere, lost to Archmere last week, and then Indian River making the trip up here, and this one was a hell of a game. Back and forth they went. A tough one there on the other side are the Vikings here, but look for them to right the ship. And again, they've got a nice young roster here at St. Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of new guys and new roles, and there's going to be a learning curve, and you're seeing that right now with this Viking group. But they don't stop fighting. Both of these teams, the fight was there.
Heck of a game to watch and call.
Yeah, it was throughout the whole game, and St. E's. This is the last you're going to hear from them, right? They obviously Archmere, a class above them, took advantage of them late in the game, really pulled away late, and then this was just a tightly contested battle.
It was a battle. That's a great way to describe it here at Abessinio Stadium. Recap the scoring here quickly. Javion Chandler opened things up with a 16-yard touchdown run. Jihad Brown answers with a 70-yard, 4-yard scamper for St. E's to tie things up there. David Hardy going to run in the second touchdown from 4 yards out that time for Indian River. Answered once again by Jihad Brown, who takes it in from 3 yards out. 2-point conversion good from Cole Andrews on the quarterback sneak. And then the game-winning touchdown, or a 1-yard quarterback sneak from Dylan Grice, the quarterback for Indian River, punching it in with about 3 minutes to go there in the 4th quarter. So big win for Indian River. Pat, any other scores here from up and down the state?
We do have 2. Caravel starting to pull away from Howard. We got a 49-26 score there in the 4th quarter, and it looks like the Red Lion Lions have pulled ahead of the Lake Forest Spartans 14-6. A little under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
We knew that one was going to be a good one. That's one we talked about this week. That was one we were excited, to maybe find out the result. And it was a good game as expected. But we had maybe the best game of the night here at Abessinio. Pat, before we head out, player of the game in a 20-14 win for Indian River. If I had to put you on the spot here, where would you go? Javion Chandler looked good. Grice did a great job commanding the offense there. Hardy, the sophomore, got in for a touchdown. Where are you going?
Yeah, it was, you saw Handy do a tremendous job on the ground game as the change of pace back. I was impressed with Dylan Grice, the sophomore quarterback, stepping up, making big-time passes when given the opportunity to do so. But the young man that I thought every time he touched the ball was just making plays was number 12, Javion Chandler, the junior running back. He obviously had a big touchdown, and he was huge, big-time runs throughout the entire game when his team needed it the most.
Yeah, big run to kick off that final game-winning touchdown drive. That first play went for 50, and then the rest is history. Grice punches it in just a few plays later. So Indian River makes the long trip, and they leave Abessinio with a victory. Number 2 Indian River takes down number 5 Sadie's 20-14. For Pat Garianis, Mike Lang, and Jason Winchell, that'll do it for us here at Delaware Live Sports. Again, make sure to tune in the rest of the week. We'll be back live Wednesday for Delaware Live Sports Weekly at Buffalo Wild Wings. So again, stay tuned to the Facebook page and Twitter for all the news and updates. And again, we will see you next week. Indian River gets the win, 20-14 over St. E's.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most